Have you ever stopped to think about who you really are beyond just your physical body? Well, today we're diving into a really profound spiritual idea. The concept that we are all at our core these beings of light, known as Atma, and we have this incredible connection to a higher, supreme soul. Let's break down what that actually means.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this journey. First up, we're going to define what the soul, or Atma, really is. Then we'll get into how you can actually experience it for yourself. After that, we'll explore its powerful link to the Supreme Soul, figure out the true source of all spiritual power, and then finally, we'll talk about the ultimate destination, a state of complete mental silence.
All right, let's get right to the heart of it. Let's tackle that huge, fundamental question. What is the soul?
So the source material explains the Atma not as something physical, but as a pure, conscious energy. You can think of your body like a car, and the Atma, well, that's the driver. It's described as a form of light, a kind of divine essence that is the real, radiant you.
And where does this energy sit? According to these teachings, it's located right in the center of the forehead, that spot between your eyebrows. In many traditions, this is known as the seat of consciousness. You've probably heard it called the third eye.
You know, what's really fascinating is how different paths all seem to point to the same thing. Whether you call it Atma, Rooh, or just soul, the basic idea is that this non-physical life force. And our source even points out that from a scientific view, you could describe this exact same thing as conscious energy. It's like different languages describing the same reality.
Okay, so if the soul is our true form, that's great to know intellectually. But how do we go from just knowing it to actually feeling it? How do we experience it?
Well, the text lays out a pretty clear three-step practice. It all starts with intention. A simple, powerful, constant thought. I am a soul. But it's not enough to just think it once. That's where effort comes in. You have to repeat this thought, make it your background music while you're walking, working, doing anything. And the result? The goal is to reach this profound state of being bodiless, where your awareness actually shifts from your physical self to your true spiritual nature.
Now, let's be real. The source is very clear that this is not some quick fix. It says that in our current world, which it calls tama-pradhan, or impure, it's actually pretty difficult to achieve this. It's not about one magical meditation. This is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes long-term practice and serious effort.
And why go through all that effort? Well, this quote from the Gita really highlights the powerful purpose behind it. The idea is that if you can truly shift your identity from the temporary body to the eternal soul, and remember that supreme soul, it has the power to cleanse you of past negative actions, to wipe the slate clean.
But becoming aware of your own soul is really just the beginning. The next step, the next level, is about building a powerful connection with what the source calls Paramatma, the supreme soul.
When that connection happens, when your individual soul links up with the Supreme Soul, the effects are described as being absolutely transformative. A direct flow of spiritual power literally pours into your soul, energizing you. And this is when the real purification begins, as that energy starts to burn away a portion of your negative karma.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Getting that energy is one thing, keeping it is another. The source gives a pretty stark warning here. That incredible spiritual power can be drained away, wasted through negative thoughts and intentions that basically sever the connection.
So that begs a really important question, right? If making this connection is so vital, where exactly should you direct it to make it work?
And the source material is super clear on this point. It makes a really sharp distinction. It says that while you can remember and respect gurus, that act itself doesn't bring a flow of spiritual power. For that, the connection has to be direct to Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, because that's the actual source of the power itself.
This whole idea is summed up by saying your yoga, which in this context just means connection or union, should always be with the almighty authority. Think of it like a powerhouse. To get electricity for your home, you have to connect to the main power station, not just to a light bulb in someone else's house. You have to go straight to the source.
So after all this practice, all this connection, where does it all lead? What's the end game? What is the final goal of this entire spiritual journey? The highest state is described as one of just absolute peace and purity. It's a state of mental silence, where the constant chatter in your head finally goes quiet. All your negative karma is gone, destroyed. The soul itself feels light, totally unburdened, and you experience what's called supersensuous joy, a deep, profound happiness that doesn't depend on anything your five senses can give you.
And it all really boils down to this one beautiful, simple statement from the source. Antarmukhi Sadasukhi. It means that the one who is inward-looking is always happy. True, lasting happiness isn't found out there in the world. It's found by turning your attention inside.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about. This entire journey that we've just talked about, it's really about a fundamental shift in your consciousness. It's a shift from the manifest world that we can all see and touch to an awareness of our unmanifest, formless, true self. So what would it actually feel like to live your life from that place?